Yes, good morning, friends. I hope you all are doing good. Yes, I hope my audio and video is working fine. I'll be very happy if any one of you can give me a feedback in the chat box below so that I remain confirmed that my audio and video is working fine. Yes, hello everyone. Good morning once again. I hope you all are doing good. How is your studies going on? I know today is Saturday. It's a rest day. Okay, Saturday and Sunday usually. But you have come to the session. Very good. This exam is so demanding. So you will have to sacrifice. No pain, no gain. Okay. Anyways, we will start with the discussion that we have left yesterday. Okay. Yesterday we have seen weathering. From today, today we will take up the classification of rock, different types of rock. Okay, rock is again very important section under your syllabus. Rock, if you understand the basic characteristics of rock, how they are formed, okay, rocks how they are formed, their basic characteristics, it will be very easy for you to understand the mineral resources and also different types of landform on the earth's surface. Okay, so rock is another very important building blocks or pillars in order for you to have a proper or comprehensive understanding of the subject geography, under that geomorphology. Okay, if you understand rock, it will really help you in other areas also, like resource distribution or different types of landform. Anyways, without going any further, let me introduce you to one scheme which is running in the Unacademy platform, that is Special Price Week. It is from 10th to 17th of November. You will get 10% off for 1 year subscription, 2 year or 3 year subscription as per your position. Okay, like whether you are planning to appear for next year or day after, a year after, you can use my code, that is SUNEP10. Okay, you also have this test series in the platform, the static part known as Abhiyan, the current affairs part. Okay, from Monday to Friday, every day. The timing is there in front of you in the screen. Abhiyan will start at 10 a.m. Okay, current affairs from 7:30 p.m. Every Sunday, tomorrow, we have this Unacademy compact. You can use my code SUNEP10. Okay, chalo, let us begin the session. Clear? Chalo. Today we will look after rock. Okay, what is different types of rock, what are their classification, how different types of rock came into being. Okay, so first we will address what is this rock. Clear? Shall we begin, or you would like to wait for some of your friends? Shall we begin the session? Yeah, chalo, let us begin. Okay, others will join us. You see here, the rock, there are certain mistaken notion in our mind about the rock, which I will first try to clarify. Okay, now before going any further, the rock is composed of different concentric layer. Each layer is different from the other. Okay, the earth is composed of different concentric layer, which we have seen. The uppermost layer, during our discussion in interior of the earth, we have seen core, mantle, lithosphere, so on and so forth, crust. So the upper layer is known as lithosphere. The name itself, lithosphere, comes from this rock. Lithos means rock. Therefore, lithosphere means rock sphere. Okay, the rocks constitute most of the solid material on the earth. Now, important point to note is this one. When we talk about a term like rock, we consider rock to be a very hard object. Okay, rock to be a very hard object and having a huge mass. Okay, something having a very huge mass and also something very hard. That is, usually we correlate the term rock with that. But the truth of the matter is, a term rock is applied even to a very soft material like mud, like clay, or like sand, as well as hard massive slabs or boulders of stone. This is one of the most important things that you need to keep in mind. Rock does not mean that it is only a huge structure like a boulder or massive slab of solid substance that you find. But the term rock, okay, I hope you are following what I am trying to say. The term rock is applied to such a soft material also. Like say for example the mud, okay, kindly follow the pointer, the clay, even the sand. These are all technically a part of a rock or a type of a rock. So from now on, kindly don't make a mistake. A mud can also be a rock, a clay can also be a rock. There are different types of rock. So the term rock does not apply only to a hard and solid object. It can be applied to even these different types of category. Clear? Now, rocks are composed of minerals. Minerals in turn are composed of atoms of elements, which are very simple unit of matter. From our school days, we have been studying this. Thus, rocks are usually composed of two or more minerals which are bound together. That is the basic characteristics of any rock, be it igneous rock, be it sedimentary rock, be it metamorphic rock, which we are going to see. Although most rocks are made of minerals, there are a few substances of organic origin. This also you need to keep in mind. Okay, two very important points which you should keep in mind is number one, the term rock as such does not only apply to a very hard substance. A term rock can be applied even to a clay, mud, etc., even sand. The second important point is rock is not only made up of inorganic substance, but rock can be made up of organic substance also. I will give you one example. Coal, C-O-A-L, coal. It is also a type of a rock, you can say. Yes, it is a mineral resource. This is a resources, but this is also a type of rock. This coal is also a type of rock. And this coal is nothing but what is coal? Any one of you? Coal is nothing but the decay of plants. And what is plant? Plant is a organic matter. So a rock can also be made or originated from organic origin. Keep that in mind. With that basic introduction about the nature of the rock, let us go and see some of the basic classification of the rock. The table which is there in front of you, it is very important table. Now you see here, all the rock that you find on the surface of the earth or even below, we can say the rock that is found on the earth, on the surface as the interior, can be broadly divided into three categories: sedimentary rock, igneous rock, and metamorphic rock. The igneous rock is known as a parent rock. Why? Because it is the first rock that came into being on the planet Earth. The sedimentary and metamorphic rock is derived from this igneous rock. Okay, this table, sedimentary rock can be of different type: clastic type, chemical, or biological. Now, this clastic type can also be known as a mechanical type. Okay, you don't have to worry about how they are originated, through clastic, through chemical, through biological. We are going to see one by one. Igneous rock is further divided into intrusive and extrusive. Metamorphic rock, on the other hand, can be further classified into foliated and non-foliated metamorphic rock. Now you see here, this igneous rock. First, let us consider this igneous rock. Why? Because on the planet Earth, igneous rock is the first rock that came into being. Okay, as you know, during the initial formation of the Earth was very volatile. Through the process of differentiation, different concentric layer like the core, the mantle, the crust was constructed. And after that, certain kind of igneous rock formation took place in the form of volcanic activity, so on and so forth. We have already seen that in our previous classes. Okay, now the first category, that is the igneous rock, can be broadly divided, further divided into two. That is intrusive igneous rock, extrusive igneous rock. As the name suggests, intrusive igneous rocks means the igneous rock that you will find beneath the surface of the earth. Say for example, this is the surface of the earth. This is the surface. The igneous rock which is found beneath the surface means in the interior of the earth, not exposed to the surface. It is known as intrusive type of igneous rock. When igneous rock is seen on the surface of the earth, okay, over the surface of the earth, it is known as extrusive igneous rock. Let us see how they are formed and what is their basic characteristics. Okay, now the characteristics of igneous rock is, igneous rocks are formed because of the molten matter that comes from the interior of the earth in the process of volcanic activity. Okay, say for example, this is my earth surface interior. From the interior, whenever a molten matter comes out to the surface, it gives rise to formation of, after cooling down, when the molten matter comes out, it comes out very hot, it cools down, solidifies, they crystallize, and finally give rise to igneous rock. So this is the source region through which the igneous rock is formed. Now, as we have just discussed, when the molten matter cools down, solidify and forms a rock, igneous rock, over the surface, it is known as extrusive igneous rock. But whenever the cooling, solidifying or crystallization of the rock happens below the surface of the earth itself, in this region, say for example, it is known as intrusive type of igneous rock. Clear? I hope that is clear regarding extrusive and intrusive. Any doubt? See, any of you, if you have any doubt regarding any point that we are discussing, don't hesitate. You interrupt me at any time. Okay, you can interrupt me at any time. I am ready to explain the point again. Okay, yeah? Is it clear? If you have any doubt regarding any point, kindly go ahead and ask me. And I hope regarding the extrusive and intrusive igneous rock, is it clear, the concept? What is extrusive, what is intrusive? Do you want me to repeat again? Yes? Shall we continue? Okay, so it is also known as the parent rock. Why? Because igneous rock are the first rock to be formed. It is very hard. Generally, igneous rocks are very hard, but there is one exception. The exception is basalt. Okay, basalt is also a type of igneous rock, but they are soft. But remember, this softness is relative softness. It is not basalt is very, very soft. Okay, it is a relative or comparatively, as compared to other type of igneous rock, basalt is generally much softer. Basalt is also a hard rock, but compared to other igneous rock, comparatively, basalt is a little bit soft. That's why usually the igneous rock, they are very hard, exception being the basaltic rock, which is a little bit comparatively softer. Okay, there is no strata which will form in the igneous rock like in the sedimentary rock. That is another important characteristics of this igneous rock. What do you mean by no strata formation? Listen, let me tell you, kindly pay attention, very, very important. Okay, you see here, sedimentary rock we will see. Okay, but I'll just give you a brief idea about how sedimentary rocks are formed. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the sediments that is derived from the igneous rock as well as from the metamorphic rock. The sediments which are derived through the weathering and erosion is deposited in one region. Now, after depositing this, another layer is deposited, another layer is deposited. By the process of this, different layers or strata is formed in the sedimentary rock. Whereas the formation of igneous rock is such that it is not by this process, sediments derived from some rock coming, depositing in one place, and finally formation of sedimentary rock. But igneous rock, they are formed during the process of molten matter coming up to the surface or in the interior of the surface by cooling and solidification. So as a whole, see, Sedimentary rock, they are forming layer after layer. But igneous rock, while forming, they form as a whole, together at one time. Therefore, there is no strata. Strata means layers, layers after layers. So one of the important characteristics of this igneous rock is you will not find a strata in a igneous rock. Whereas in a sedimentary rock, you will find different types of strata. Clear? Now, igneous rock can be either very granular. Granular means smaller in size, or it can be a very big one. Okay, even size may vary. Okay, igneous rock can be granular or crystalline rock, but there are much variation in the size, form and texture. It can be a very small one, it can be a very large one, igneous rock. Okay, now the size of the igneous rock, whether it will be small or big, okay, the size of igneous rock, whether it will be small or big, depends on the location where it cools down and solidify. Just now I have mentioned to you, igneous rock source region is in the interior of the earth. Kindly follow the pointer. That is usually the magma chamber. From here the molten matter comes up. When it reaches the surface, it is known as extrusive igneous rock. When it cools down and solidifies inside the earth only, it is known as intrusive. Now, depending on where it is cooling down and solidifying, whether it is outside the earth or within the earth's surface itself, that will determine the size of the igneous rock. Okay, size of the igneous rock. You see here. Kindly follow, very, very important. Okay, you see here. Kindly follow. In our previous discussion, we have already seen this is the surface, this is the earth's interior. From surface, when I go towards the interior, temperature increases. The rate of increase of temperature may vary, but one constant rule is the moment I go from surface to the interior, the temperature increases. Which means, can I say, the moment I come out from the interior to the surface, temperature will reduce? Clear? Now, whenever a molten matter comes out and reaches the surface, the temperature reduces. Now, because of the reduction in the temperature, a molten matter which reached the surface, okay, the molten matter which reached the surface of the earth, it encounters a rapid reduction of temperature. When there is a rapid reduction of temperature, a very rapid cooling and contraction and solidification will take place. During the process, a very large size grain or large size sedimentary rock are not possible. Why? Because during the process of rapid cooling and rapid contraction and cooling and solidifying, the molten matter breaks up. Therefore, it results in smaller size of igneous rock that will form. If the molten matter reaches the surface of the earth, since it is encountering a rapid reduction in temperature, a rapid cooling, rapid contraction, rapid solidification, the size of the igneous rock will be small. But on the other hand, if the molten matter which comes out does not come up to the surface but cools within the interior of the earth, since the reduction of the temperature is much gradual, okay, the molten matter which is coming out, if it is cooling down and solidifying before reaching the surface of the earth but rather in the interior of the earth itself, this molten matter get sufficient amount of time to cool down, solidify and contract. Therefore, since it is getting a sufficient amount of time to cool down, it cools down gradually. Now, when it cools down gradually, the size of the rock, the igneous rock, will be much larger. Clear? So, the location, whether it is above the earth, on the surface of the earth, or whether the cooling and solidification is in the interior of the earth itself, that will determine the size of igneous rock. Clear? Now, igneous rocks are less affected by chemical weathering except for the basalt. Basalt is a type of igneous rock. So except for the basalt, because basalt is comparatively a little bit softer, other igneous rocks are very, very hard, the chemical weathering is less. Whereas it is mostly affected by mechanical or physical weathering. Clear? These are very, very important characteristics. The number of joints increase upward in any igneous rock. Okay, that is also another important characteristics of igneous rock. It is because of cooling and contraction, expansion and contraction during mechanical weathering, decrease in superincumbent load due to removal of material through denudation process. Reason is like this. You see here, this is my surface of the earth. Okay, I have, say for example, one igneous rock here, like this. Okay, igneous rock here. This is my earth surface. This is my igneous rock. Now you see here, the pressure which is exerted from above will be less here as compared to in this region. Therefore, since it is having a less pressure on this or load on this, a crack can be developed. But in the below section, since it is tightly compressed by the overlying load, this will be, you will find crack developing on the upper part, but you won't find in the lower section. That is one. Clear? Now, igneous rock usually does not contain fossils. Fossils in a sense like coal, petroleum, so on and so forth. Because what is coal? What is coal? What is fossil fuels? These are petroleum and petroleum products. Now, how petroleum or fossil fuels are originated or created? It is by the decay and decomposition of organisms. But since in the igneous rock, since the formation involves in the initial state a very high temperature, usually in the molten state, even if there is any kind of life form, traces of life form, it will be completely destroyed because of very high temperature of the igneous rock. Therefore, you will not find any kind of fossil fuels. Yes, you will find mineral resources, but you will not find any kind of fossil fuels in the igneous rock. And igneous rock, as we have been discussing, it is mostly associated with volcanic activity. Clear? Let us quickly go and see some of the basic classification of this igneous rock. Number one, intrusive. Okay, igneous rock can be either acidic or either basic. One of the example of acidic igneous rock is granite. Basic igneous rock is gabbros or basalt. Okay, and how do you measure whether igneous rock is acidic or basic? Yesterday also we have taken some basic, that is presence or the percentage or the proportion of the presence of SiO2. What is SiO2? Silicon dioxide. And what is silicon dioxide? That is silica. Okay, silica. So the presence or absence and also the percentage or the proportion of the silica or SiO2, presence or the proportion of silica content determines whether igneous rock is acidic or basic. If the proportion of silica is high, then it becomes acidic igneous rock. If the proportion of silica is less, it becomes basic igneous rock. Clear? Now, broad classification of igneous rock is number one, intrusive. Intrusive in a sense, igneous rock which are formed before coming or cooling and solidifying of the molten matter within the earth's crust only, not coming out to the surface, but inside the earth itself. When it cools down and solidify, it is known as intrusive igneous rock. Plutonic is one, that is, it solidifies deep inside, it gets sufficient time, thereby resulting in a very large size of granite rock. The second is hypabyssal. What is the meaning of this hypabyssal? Hypabyssal means in a crack in the Earth's interior, when there is an area of crack, or where you have this porous space, that is hole, or where you have this crevices kind of structure in the Earth's interior, the molten matter, when it comes up, it finds its way, and thereby cooling and solidifying of the molten matter, resulting in the formation of igneous rock. Clear? Now, different subcategory of these hypapaisal igneous rocks are laccolith, number 1. LACCOLITH, laccolith. Okay, now how laccolith are formed? See, kindly follow the pointer. The molten matter, when it comes out, see, this is one strata, this is other layer. In between this layer, there are certain kind of joints. Now in these joints, the molten matter which is coming up, it is coming up with having lot of gases, pressure, okay, gas, water vapor, so on and so forth. Therefore, if it finds certain kind of weak area in the boundary between one layer and the other layer, the gases and the water vapor first enters that region. When it enters that region, you see here, you kindly follow the pointer. Say for example, one strata of rock, another strata of rock. Whenever a molten matter comes up, it is coming up with some force, and it involves water vapor, gases, so on and so forth. When it finds a weak point, the gases and the water vapor enters here. Since it is coming out with certain kind of pressure, it will expand this particular layer like this. This layer like this. After expansion of this, there is a vacuum which is created here. And in this vacuum or the space, the molten matter that comes up pours into this, and after that it cools down and solidifies, resulting in the formation of intrusive igneous rock. And such kind of structure is known as laccolith. So laccolith is nothing but the intrusive igneous rock formation. Ascending gas, they are convex in shape. Clear? That is the meaning of this laccolith. Laccolith is a igneous rock, intrusive igneous rock. The second type of intrusive igneous rock under this hypapaisal is lopolith. LOPOLITH. Kindly follow the pointer. In lopolith, very similar to laccolith, but here the process is like this. You kindly follow the pointer. I have one layer, another layer. When the molten matter comes up, if it finds some weak area, it will pour into this. When the molten matter is poured into this, in between these two layers having a weak spot or some space, when the molten matter pours into it, the molten matter has got certain kind of weight, mass. Because of that, this particular layer is depressed like this, and the molten matter pours into this, finally resulting into, after that cooling and solidifying will result, finally resulting into lopolith. And this lopolith is concave in shape. Okay, so laccolith, we know how it is formed. Lopolith, how it is formed. Another type is, if there is a vertical joint like this and there is a space, the molten matter comes up like this, just like a vertical post, solidifies. These are known as dikes. The other one is in the horizontal area only. When a molten matter comes up, solidifies in a very thin horizontal layer, it is known as seal. So these are the different important intrusive igneous rock which falls under the category of hypapaisal. That is laccolith, lopolith, seal, dike. And if it is having a dome-like structure, it is known as batholith. Now, another form is, you kindly follow the pointer here. Pacholiths are the one where the molten matter cools down and solidifies in the anticline and syncline region. we have already seen under our fault this structure. The upper part is known as anticline, the lower part is known as syncline. Therefore, whenever a molten matter comes up, they solidify some in this region, some in this region, some in this region, some in this region. Such kind of structure is known as paccolith. P-H-A-C-O-L-I-T-H. Clear? Let us quickly go ahead. The second type of igneous rock is known as extrusive, which means when the molten matter which comes up, if it cools down and solidify on the earth's surface, not in the interior of the earth, but in the outside, on the surface of the earth, it is known as extrusive igneous rock. And usually the extrusive igneous rock comes out, one of the way is through fissure eruption. It gets less time to cool, as we have already mentioned. Therefore, no big size of grain will develop. And usually the creation of this basalt and gabbros are because of this reason. Reason. Clear? The entire basaltic flow in the Deccan Plateau of India is also because of this reason. Fissure eruption. Clear? That is one. The second form of igneous rock is the extrusive igneous rock, is explosive in nature. That is during the volcanic activity. Clear? Here are some important terms that you need to know. Bomb. Volcanic bomb is of this size. When you have a huge rock like this, it is known as bomb. When you have a smaller size of igneous rock, it is called lapilli. Now, a mixture of a larger and smaller particles after deposition is known as praxia or agglomerate. Lava flow is another that is very quiet through a fissure eruption, which is responsible for the generation of this or origin of these plains and plateaus, is also a type of igneous rock. Let us quickly go and see some of the important chemical characteristics or composition of this igneous rock. First one is acidic igneous rock. As I have already mentioned to you, the acidic and basic of igneous rock depends on the content of silica. So in this acidic igneous rock, if the content of the silica is somewhere around 65 to 85%, if the silica content is around 65 to 85%, they are known as acidic igneous rock. The average density of acidic igneous rock is from 2.7 to 2.8. Quartz, feldspar are the dominant minerals that you will find in acidic igneous rock. Acidic igneous rock are usually lacking in iron and magnesium. Keep this in mind. Bembo Bhutia, good afternoon. How are you? Yeah, Bembo, how are you? Are you following what I'm trying to explain? Yeah? Good afternoon once again. Welcome to the session. Yeah, if you have any query, if you have any doubt regarding any point that we are discussing, you can interrupt me at any time. Good. You can interrupt me anytime if you have any doubt, but it is very, very important that you should know, because rock, its classification, its property is a very, very important pillar for your understanding of the subject geography, especially the geomorphology part. Clear? Chalo. So acidic igneous rock, I repeat once again, acidic basic depends on the silica content. Very, very, very important. Now acidic igneous rock, usually iron and magnesium are lacking. They are more of quartz and feldspar. Clear? Generally the acidic igneous rocks are very hard. And relatively resistant to erosion. But see, remember, hard does not always mean it should be very heavy. That you need to be very, very sure. Gaurav, good afternoon once again. You see here, hard does not necessarily always results in heaviness. There are some objects which are very hard but light. So acidic igneous rock, they are very hard, but relatively the weight is light. Acidic igneous rock, keep this in mind. We are going to contrast this with the basic igneous rock. Okay, therefore due to less erosivity, means very less prone to erosion, they are usually used in a building material. This is the application of acidic igneous rock. One of the signature example of acidic igneous rock is granite. This how you will see. Okay, how you will find this granite will look like this. Okay, see, important characteristics: granite or acidic igneous rock is very hard, but these are light. Usually iron and magnesium is absent in acidic igneous rock. It is more of quartz and feldspar. Clear? Now, basic igneous rock, you see here, it is known as basic. Why? Because the silica content is only 45 to 60. In acidic igneous rock, it was 65 to 80. But in basic, silica content is only 45 to 60. That's why it is known as basic igneous rock. And let me tell you once again, silica is nothing but it is SiO2, that is silicon dioxide. Clear? Now, the basic igneous rock you see here, it is dominated by ferromagnesium. Okay, it is dominated by ferromagnesium. It is heavy in weight as compared to basic igneous rock. It is heavier. Okay, heavier than the acidic igneous rock. But you see here, acidic igneous rock is hard. Basic igneous rock is softer, but they are heavier. Therefore, the average density of basic igneous rock is somewhere around 2.8 to 3. You can compare here. The acidic igneous rock, the average density is 2.75 to 2.8. But basic igneous rock, it is 2.8 to 3. Therefore, it is heavier. Therefore, we used to say, whenever a continental crust and oceanic crust comes, since the oceanic crust is mostly made of basalt or basic, they subduct below the continental crust. Therefore, why I am saying this is understandings of rock. What is their basic characteristics? What are the basic classification? It will really help you in understanding many of the geographical features. Not only in the physical geography, but in the economic geography also. Okay. See, it is dark in color, the basic igneous rock, because of the dominance of iron. Another very important point from your prelims point of view, there may be a question in your MCQ regarding why the color of the basic igneous rock is dark. The reason is very simple, presence of iron. And you can contrast that with this acidic igneous rock. In acidic igneous rock, iron and magnesium is lacking. Generally, it is quartz and feldspar. Okay, that is how you need to correlate. But since basic igneous rock is softer, it is easily eroded when in contact with water. Example of basic igneous rocks are basalt and capros. Clear? Chalo. These are some of the landforms that are developed by igneous rock. Say for example, the mesa is known as a tableland. Tableland, okay, just like a table. The dining table or any kind of table, it just looks like a table. When igneous rock, when it comes to the surface, or igneous rock, whether from outside intrusive or extrusive, if the surrounding region is eroded, and if the igneous rock is also eroded and turns into the shape of a table, it is known as mesa. M-E-S-A. When this mesa is further eroded down and turns into this structure, it is known as butte. B-U-D-T-E. And if it is further eroded and turns into this structure, it is known as spire. S-P-I-R-E. From your ancient history, from architecture, over the temples, you will find this spire. Okay, it is a shape of a spire. Now in real life, you will find like this. It may be a mesa. This may be a butte. This may be spire. Okay, other is igneous rocks are hard. So the igneous rock is less more resistance to erosion as compared to the surrounding region. So the surrounding region will be eroded much faster as compared to the igneous rock, and thereby leaving behind a topography or a relief like this, pebbles-like structure like this. The hard, these are the igneous rock, and the surrounding region, these are the softer rock. So since igneous rock is hard, it is eroded less. Thereby, after some time, the landform will develop like this. Such kind of rocky kind of a landform which gets developed has a special name, and the name is tors. T-O-R-S, tors. Clear? This is known as tors. Clear? I don't know whether you know or not, but I have a Telegram channel by the name of All About Geography. Okay, the invite link is t.me/sunep10. Okay, so you can always come and join me here. I publish all my upcoming classes here in this channel. At 1 p.m. we have a answer writing practice session in Unacademy platform. Okay, it is completely free. You can come and join me there. Whatever the theoretical portion that we are discussing in the YouTube session, I take the topic and practice answer writing in the Unacademy platform. Okay, it is completely free. You just have to download the app and come and join me there. You can search by my name, that is SUNEP C Jamir, Jamir. Okay, we will continue tomorrow with sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, so on and so forth. Okay, but today let us end the session here. Thank you so much for your patience and cooperations. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time, 11:30. Okay, bye bye and take care. If you have any doubt regarding any portion, you can always revert back to me. Clear? Chalo, bye bye, take care.